Welcome back to the channel. In this video we are basically going to be looking at solving for x by using the quadratic formula. That's part 2. Okay, let's get back to the basics of using the blue pen. This is basically by using quadratic formula. If you don't like my handwriting as keys, it's bad. So suppose we have these two examples. Okay, before that, or maybe while doing that, writing those two examples that we are going to be looking at in this video, you are probably wondering, at what point will I see the need to choose between the two? Okay, here's the situation. The quadratic formula, just to write it alone, it seems like a lot of admin for some people. I'm one of those some people that I'm talking about. So that's why oftentimes I would rather just type it on the calculator and then find the factors and use the factorizing method. However, sometimes it's just easier to fully write it, and then you will see that in this situation where it is easier, the answer is usually a decimal, or it's not a whole number, if I can just put it like that. So in this case, we have two examples where I'll just show you where it is easier to use the quadratic formula over factorizing. So suppose in A you have this question, 2x squared minus 3x equals to 4. Like we did when we were solving by factorizing, we always move this constant back to the left hand side where it belongs, and then we have 0 on the right hand side. Okay, at this stage now we have our equation in standard form, and we're just gonna write the quadratic formula like this: x equals to minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Okay guys, sometimes you'll have to take what I say as opposed to what I write in case you cannot see what I'm writing. But yeah, assuming you can see what I'm writing at this stage, now you just need to see that this is your a, this is your, that negative 3 is your b, and then negative 4 is the c. Okay, you do the substitution now. Let's do it together. Okay, let me do something like this. Let's do it together, and then our b is negative 3, and then square root of negative 3 squared minus 4. The a is 2, the c is negative 4. That is our substitution. Then we are done. Okay, now everything on a calculator, you'd realize that the answers that you get, first you can start with a plus sign, then you do this same substitution with a negative sign there. Okay, you will see that the two answers that you will get is 2.35, or x is equals to negative 0.85. As you can see, in the previous video, you would use this quadratic equation to get the factors, but those factors will be whole numbers, or some they call them integers. Okay, so in this case, this is not the situation. That is why it is easier to just use the quadratic formula fully. Okay, let's look at the second example. 2x squared, we do exactly what we usually do. We just move this 4 to the left hand side. Now that we are here, you can see we don't have a coefficient of x because there's no x in the first place. So that means our b is 0. Ever, we don't need to stress. The standard approach is just that, write the quadratic formula: minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4. Okay, let me write things, at least I'm putting effort to making sense. Okay, here we are, we have the quadratic formula, and then now we just need to substitute. You will see that this is your a, and then this is the c. There's no b, that means b equals to 0. Okay, and now we have 0 plus minus the square root of 0 squared minus 4. A is 2, c is negative 4. Okay, when we have this situation, that means our a is actually 2 again. Hey, keep saying means, even though I already said that. Okay, punch this thing or put everything on a calculator. I don't know who taught us to punch things, but it's fine. Okay, therefore x is 1.14, or 1.41 rather, as well as this one, or this one, 1.41. So again, with mathematics, especially algebra, you can always try to check if your answers are correct. So just take this negative 1.41. However, in these situations where you have rounded off your answer, I'd recommend that you put the answer that you got on the calculator. Just save that answer and then substitute it here, rather here for x, and then see if when you say 2 times answer squared, is it equals to 4, and 2 times the previous answer, which would have been this one, squared, is it also equals to 4. If all of them they give you 4, then it means all the answers they are valid. If one of them is not giving you 4, all you need to say is that but x is not equals to that one which is not giving you the right hand side, therefore it leaves you with x equals to the other one that remains, you see. And then that will be how you present your solution. Other than that, Joe, solving for x using the quadratic formula is the most straightforward thing to do. Someone has already suffered with deriving the quadratic formula, so we don't have to suffer. We'll see another method in the next video. Thank you. Subscribe, share, comment your feelings, and then we shall see if they are valid. Hopefully they are. But that's for psychologists to determine, not us engineers. See you in the next